Buenos tardes, amazing afternoon. I hope you are doing well. It is Bit Buddha back again with another video because I'm realizing I'm gonna want to look back at these moments and I think it's worthwhile to like share my journey because especially with my tech journey, a lot of it I post on like LinkedIn, but those are just random like pictures here and there, right? But I don't usually go in depth about what I'm doing. So I think the last video I probably made was when I got my ComTIA A+, right? Because I got this government grant through Career Source Broward, and it's the WIOA grant. It's a grant and a law, actually. It's basically a grant to kind of help people who are like unemployed, right? And since my last role, my last separate role last year, since then I got the grant in like, this school started in April anyway. to make a long story short, there's a school in West Palm Beach called PC Professor, and I'm gonna be getting like 12 certifications through them. I got my CompTIA A+ and my CompTIA Tech Plus through like them so far, but then now I'm also studying for my CCNA. So I wanted to show my setup or my home lab because I think everyone in tech was like, oh, you got a home lab, da da da. So I think it'll be worthwhile to show my home lab. How am I gonna turn it around? I thought I could just press the button, but I think I'll have to manually. Anyway, all right. So also shout out to Career Source Broward. They gave me this this Dell Pro Max 14 for free. Now, no, this is the most powerful laptop I have now, right? And I'm just grateful because this laptop costs like $1,000, like 500, I think. And I'm like, thank you. Like my, I guess you call it, not my guidance counselor, like my enrollment person shout out to Ada Melendez at Career Source Broward. She just like reached out, like, hey, do you need a laptop for your like studies? I'm like, yeah, like a laptop would help. And they got me this amazing laptop that's literally the most powerful laptop I have now, right? So at first it was running Windows 11, but then I was having issues with like safe BIOS, and I was having issues with like the audio, and I'm like, bruh, if I'm gonna be troubleshooting this much, we might as well go back to like Linux. Like I'm not gonna be over here troubleshooting all day if I'm on Windows. If I'm gonna be troubleshooting, at least let it be something that like I'm interested in, you know? But yeah, so I'm grateful for this. So I got my A+ a couple months ago. I got my CompTIA Network Plus. Now, all right, I wanted to speak about the Network Plus a little bit more as well. The Network Plus, bro, I'm not gonna hold you. So far, it's like the hardest certification I've taken. Harder than my Security Plus, harder than my A+, and harder than the Tech Plus. And it was the first certification I did when I hit submit, my heart was like pacing. Like, I haven't had that experience no more of any of these other certifications. So for me, it was pretty intense. I'm not sure if it was like the day or like the time, but like all of that stuff. I'm glad I got it, because while I was taking it, some of those questions were like throwing me for like a loop. Like even now, like subnetting and all of that stuff is like a lot. All right, let me explain this, because I think not everyone. Some people watching this will probably be in tech, but some people probably don't, right? The CompTIA is a vendor-neutral organization, right? Because in tech, they have certifications that a specific company makes that's for their specific product. Like example, the RHCSA, the Red Hat Certified System Admin, is specifically for Red Hat products. The Cisco CCNA is specifically for Cisco routers and switches, right? These are like vendor-specific certifications. CompTIA is cool because it's like super old and super popular and the government likes it. They're very like multiple choice. They're usually not super difficult. Even me saying the Network Plus was hard. What I'm doing now is like times like 4 of that, you know? But yeah, so CompTIA basically gives the vendor neutral certification so that you have like at least an understanding of this area of technology, right? So the CompTIA A+ does more so with like the low level hardware and a little bit of software I think they're starting to add, but it's more so about like the USB, the hard drive, the RAM, the CPU, like the inner components of your laptop or computer, or just computer and device, because even like gaming consoles have like similar building blocks, right? And then the CompTIA Network Plus shows you how a network works, right? So, example, you watching this video, right? How did it get from me here in West Palm Beach, right, to you? Like, really think about it. I know that we know that, like, we know of the internet, but only a few people know like what is actually happening on the networking side. So basically, the Cisco CCNA just shows that you're like aware of networking ideas and concepts, right? Like there's like how much should I explain? So there's like an OSI model, right? It's like a ladder that shows what level of the networking and technology stack you're in, right? So we have, actually I'll show you. I can show you better than I could explain it. All right, so these right here are like switches, right? So say that you're in the old days, well even now, right? I have a computer, you have a computer, and we're in the office and we want to communicate between these computers, right? These switches will be the thing that your network engineer sets in your like business so these different computers could communicate. A router is for when you want to communicate outside of your network, right? So say you're at home, right? You're connected to your Wi-Fi. You connect your phone to your router connects to your ISP. The ISP connects to the YouTube servers, and the YouTube server sends you this video that I uploaded to YouTube through my phone's cellular internet, right? So it's basically, anyway, the ComTIA Network Plus is basically showing how the internet and networking like actually work, right? So there's hubs. We kind of don't use hubs no more, but it was like a low level of like networking. They were similar to switches, but the issue was that they would broadcast all of this information that was kind of like not necessary to say. We're in like a group, right? And we're in the office. It's 10 of us. We all have computers, right? And I want to send you a message. The hub, so say I'm trying to send you the message, right? I'll go to the hub, but then it'll send the message I want to send you to all other 8 people we're working with. So it's kind of just like a bit dumb, you know, because if I'm trying to send you a message, the hub shouldn't be sending all the messages to all these other people. Of course, I'm simplifying this stuff. And I'm new to this stuff. Like I don't even think I've touched the hub yet or seen the hub because I think they're kind of extinct. But yeah, so those are like kind of the basics of it. And then a router, like most of us have no routers and modems because we like we know the Wi-Fi password of the Wi-Fi box. You know, when your friend comes to your house, they usually ask for the Wi-Fi password. So that's what the ComTIA Network Plus was. Now the CCNA is similar to that. Like it builds on the Network Plus concepts, but now you actually have to know a bit more about the routing protocols and how they interface more so. And right now, so I'll show you, I'm using this thing called Cisco Packet Tracer. I'm gonna get an app so I could like start doing screen shares while I'm making these videos, because there's a lot of technical stuff like I have to share, but it's like I just have to get like OBS or something to start working on this. Anyway, firstly, you know I'm running Red Hat Enterprise Linux on this like whole setup. And let me show you the whole setup. So it's kind of interesting to do. Anyway, I got this monitor. This is the computer I built when I got my CompTIA A+ here. This is one of my monitors. This is my other monitor. And this is the laptop I just got from Career Source. So this is one computer running Red Hat Enterprise Linux. And do I gotta explain that too? Maybe, I don't know. So Red Hat Linux is like an open source kernel, right? And it has desktops on top of it. So there's Mac OS, Windows, and Linux, right? Linux is open source, meaning that anyone could contribute to the code, and it's also free, right? So, but Red Hat is interesting the way that they work. Basically, they have Linux, but they make companies pay for the subscription to take care of their servers, pretty much, right? So a lot of the government people, a lot of the military people, they like Red Hat because it already comes with the compliance and the frameworks that the government and the military has to follow anyway. So it makes it easier for them. They don't have to think about all this stuff like, oh, what server is my server FIPS compliant or my server DIS compliant, right? Red Hat already comes out of the box with all of that compliance stuff that the military and government will need. So that's where I'm headed, right? My goal is to go more into like Linux system administration, but while I'm taking this training, I'm gonna utilize it because these certifications are very valuable, you know, and it's free. It's free, it's libre, it's gratis, right? So I'm gonna make sure I use all of it. So yeah, I got my A+, got my Network Plus, and now, I wanted to show the Cisco Packet Tracer, right? So I'm not sure if you're able to see it that well in this angle, but on Cisco Packet Tracer, you basically can make your own network, right? Like down here, they have like N devices, right? You could but this is the one that I just got from the course. Like you can make your own, or you could like go through labs that people already made for you to go through. So in the training for my CCNA now, they have specific labs I get the file for it, I put it in here, then I have to manually configure what the lab wants me to do. But I also want to give a shout out to David Fuller. Firstly, shout out to my teacher here at PC Professor, but also this guy on YouTube. Oh my God, I wish I could turn the camera around. I gotta figure out a way to fix it. Anyway, this guy, his name is Christian Augusto Romario Goizieta. Lo siento. I don't know how to spell your name, bro. I'm sorry. Lo siento. But anyway, this brother, I've been watching a lot of his tutorials, following along with the labs. So I'm very grateful for that. And yeah, I still want to do my RHCSA, my Red Hat Certified System Admin. And I was going to get that through the Urban League, but with the Urban League, they have like different times of funding. Plus with the amount of time and energy the CCNA takes, it's kind of been taking a bit of my priority, right? But I think once I'm done with the CCNA, I think my less certification will be less intense. So I might have a bit more time for the RHCSA. Like I have time, I just have to get better at like time management, you know, because it's like a lot of moving parts I'm trying to stack efficiently. Also to like day, so I got an email last week through Career Source Broward, the organization that kind of helped me get the certification to be here. And they said, oh, we're having a job for you, right? So I'm like, a lit. So I woke up early, right? And then I got the lady Christy here to print me out my like 10 resumes, right? I drove like an hour south down to like Broward or whatever. And then they told me that it was actually like yesterday. And I was like, bruh. And I was so annoyed because they had like Bowman on there and like Jackson Health. And I printed out all my resumes and I drove down like an hour. I put gas in my car. Like I dressed up nice. I was doing all this stuff. Like I was so excited. But sadly, I didn't look at the flyer deeply enough, and it was actually yesterday. But I did see Career Source Palm Beach posted another job fair. So I just came from that earlier, and I wanted to speak about this too. I feel like we're very privileged in tech, honestly, because like it wasn't, the one in Palm Beach wasn't really a tech job fair. It was just like a general job fair. And like after speaking to the people and seeing the roles they had one for like the Palm Beach hotel, and then they had one that was a canvassing thing for like people with medical issues, and like you just go around helping people with their medical stuff. And those are beautiful roles, but I'm like, bro, in tech, it's like, you know, with the hotel one, they said they had the engineer role. So in my head, I'm thinking like engineer, like software engineer, like tech engineer. And there's like, no, it's more so like a handyman type role, right? Which is fine, but it's interesting because I've been in tech for a while. I still feel like I'm getting in though. Like honestly, I feel so like a freshman in a sense. Anyway, I've been working towards this for a while, and a lot of my friends, they're already past 6 figures. A lot of my friends, they've been in tech for longer than me, right? And like most of the people I speak to, like they're in tech, they're like are looking at jobs, they're deep in it, right? And I think that sometimes skews, I'll say for me, it sometimes skews my worldview, right? Because I'm comparing myself to people who are like have been in this stuff, making 6 figures in tech, stacking jobs, right? But then I speak to just like people who are outside of tech, and I'm hearing what they have to do for money, and I'm like, wow, that's it's humbling. Because in tech, I'm not gonna say tech is easy. If it was easy, well, I've been working on this stuff for years. It's not easy. Like honestly, if I knew how hard it would be, I probably wouldn't even be here right now, genuinely. But comparing like the manual type of roles, that really intense work people got to do, waking up early in the heat and the snow, right? Versus someone literally at their computer. My like books. Y'all see my books? I'm sorry, I'm getting off topic. But I got my CCNA book, my RHCSA book. What else am I reading? I read this financial book by John Hope Bryant. But yeah, what I'm saying, like compared to like the manual stuff that people got to do, and even outside of that, just like the really intense work people got to do versus tapping on your computer a bit, hopping on a couple meetings here and there. It's night and day, bro. Like the autonomy you get in tech, even though it's extremely hard to get in, and I'm pushing everything I can to get deeper in, I still think it's worth it. But yeah, luckily they have another job fair next week, and they have like this company Tech. You know, I'm always looking for tech stuff. It's like tech security solutions. So I'm gonna apply to a couple of those jobs and head there next Wednesday. But yeah, that's kind of been my main focal point. Just going to job fairs, the CCNA study. I have a couple other side things I help with as well. Shout out to Achieve It Pathways. They have like a GRC AI cohort that I help with Shout out to them. Yeah, I have a business partner in Kenya who helps me with some AI stuff as well. But besides that, my main focal point has been the CCNA stuff. And also, I'm debating joining the Space Force, right? And this is a pretty hefty one, right? It's like if you were to get me 5 years ago, not even 5 years ago, 2 years ago, I was like, hey, future you is gonna be in like the military. I'll be like, what? Are you dumb? Are you stupid? Like, what are you talking? That doesn't even make sense, right? But there's like a tremendous amount of like hardship and struggle that's not, at some point it's not fun anymore, and it's not, well, it was never fun, but at some point it's like something better has to come out of it, right? Because I came back to the States, and my main goal was just to max out everything the States could like give me, right? So I'm getting my certifications. Cool, I'm getting my tech certifications. I spoke to my enrollment officer from Western Governors University yesterday, right? I'm the cool thing about WGU, it's like an online competency-based school, and you could transfer in your credits, right? So I spoke to her. I'm transferring my credits for my certifications, and that should be done in like a week or two. And yeah, for the Space Force, or Air Force, right? Well, I'm trying to lean Space Force. I did my ASVAB. I got a 70, which is pretty good, you know, like, because basically the way it works, your ASVAB, it basically, the higher score you get, the more roles you could do, right? And in fact, I scored a 70 without even studying. My recruiter said that was pretty good, right? But the reason the military even comes to mind, because a lot of the people I interviewed on the Blacks in Cybersecurity podcast, a lot of my like coworkers, a lot of my mentors, a lot of them have been in like the military, like majority. Like even thinking about my last role at Rely, almost all of my managers were in the military at some capacity. And the first couple interviews of the Blacks in Cyber podcast, some of my favorite interviews from that podcast have been from people who were in the military. So I'm like, bro, like I never realized how deep a hold the military has in cyber, but it makes sense, right? Because like the military needs this, like the top cyber, you know, because this cyber war stuff happening now. But there's a couple things with the military that I don't really want to compromise truly, but it's like something has to, I don't know, I need like some sort of change, right? Because of course I'm working towards my goals now. I know things are going to get better, but it's just like it's still like true. Like when I say it's rough, like I have to make a whole other video about like how like rough it is. But yeah, so thinking about the Space Force, got my A+, my Net+, doing my CCNA now, going to job fairs, printing out my resume, right? And so the reason for the Space Force, right, or the military, right, a top secret clearance, right? So in cyber and tech and Linux, right, once you have a clearance, you're basically, I think they say you get about 20 or 30% more, and you're more valuable when you're at the top of the stack, right? And I have to go back to college as well. Like college was never really in my like, I mean, I went to college in Philly for a bit, but it was never really like a deep focal point for me. But now it is, right? Because I'm realizing if you want to, like, a lot of higher management type roles, and a lot of jobs still value that. I know a lot of people say, oh, it's 2026, you don't need college. You need, like, for most people, that's probably true, right? If you get to $1 million without college, bless your soul, right? But for everyone, I don't think it's as easy, right? Because tech is like extremely rough. I've seen people with like years of experience, more certifications, more experience, all the degrees, all the certifications, who still are getting fired. And here is me. I'm just trying to like wing it in cyber. I only got a couple certs under my belt, trying to like run like everything, right? And I will, right? But I want to make sure that I can't be glass ceilinged ever, right? I'm gonna knock out my bachelor's, my master's, my doctorate, my top secret clearance, right? Everything that I could get from the United States, specifically, well, everything I could get from the United States, right? And the Space Force is under mine. So got a 70 on my ASVAB. My recruiter's doing a tattoo waiver for me now, because they got to waive it. So he has a new commander this week, and I should hear the update for that. Also with the WGU, I could transfer those credits into the military and come in as an E3 instead of an E1. So basically, the more credits you transfer into the military, and if you have your bachelor's, you could come in as an E3, or when you get your bachelor's, you could come in as an officer. And officers make a lot more money, you know? So my plan is to just do this stuff as quickly as possible. Like as quickly as, like, no, not even humanly possible, as quickly as possible, beyond human, right? Because I just have to knock the stuff out now. Because while I have the energy for it, right, I'm gonna do it now. Because I didn't have the energy for this stuff a couple years ago, and I can't guarantee I'm gonna have the energy for this stuff in a couple years, right? Because I have to max out everything I can in tech and in the USA and from USD to basically live a lifestyle that's a lot more peaceful for me, my children, and my grandchildren. So in my head, I'm thinking, if I make the sacrifices now, once I have children and grandchildren, right, they won't have to worry as much. They won't have to do all this extra stuff I'm doing. You know, if they want to, sure. But if you want to go back to the States and knock yourself out, right? If you want to go back and do all that stuff, do what you want, right? But I'd rather live a more slow-paced life, right? So I'm living fast now, so I can live slow for the rest of my life. That's how I see it. I know a lot of people say, oh, like, that's such a sacrifice. Oh, you're always like, bro, like, literally, I really just be here studying, going to job fairs, and in class. Like, literally, like in Palm Beach, I don't even like know anybody else here besides my like the teachers, the ladies at the front, and my classmates. That's everything, you know. I came up here for this school, so I'm maximizing and I'm squeezing everything I can out of this. But I think that's everything. I just have to share this stuff because it's like I'm gonna want to look back on it, and I know other people probably want to look back on it because I know in the future, like, oh, how did you get in tech, or what did you do, bro? I've been hitting the pavement, bro, for years. Like I've been hitting the pavement. I've been shaking hands. I've been in like interviews, meetings, podcasts, GitHub, LinkedIn, you like all of it, bro. Everything that anyone ever recommended me, I've done, right? So that's why I'm getting to the point, like, I need to reap the benefits of everything I've been sowing, because it's like I've been doing this stuff for like a long time. Well, I would say, you know what day I would give it? Either 2021 or 2022. After I met my friend Amani, she's like a data scientist. After I met her at the Woodstock Fruit Festival, and I remember speaking to Ronnie. I was speaking to Ronnie in 2022 at the Woodstock Fruit Festival in New York. That time, like after that time frame, because I told him, but bro, yeah, I'm gonna just go into tech, get my money up, and then after that, you know, farming, fruit, right? So I worked on this stuff for a long time, bro. So like I have to like go out big. Like there's no way. It's either I go out big or it's like nothing, bro. It's like it's kind of at the point where I burnt all my ships and like there's nothing else to do. Because I have had a lot of different work opportunities, a lot of different business opportunities, a lot of different opportunities, right, in other industries. And I'm like, nah, bro, like tech. I've just been giving all my eggs in this like one basket. I know that that's not recommended, but that's what I've been doing. But yeah, the next video I'll probably make is when either I pass my CCNA or I'm gonna figure out how to get OBS on my computer, so I could probably show you a bit of like Cisco Packet Tracer or Red Hat Enterprise Linux for those of you who are studying for that, because it'd be cool to like, that'd be cool, bro. If I'm gonna start like being like a teacher, bro, like I'm gonna be making like tutorials and courses. But no, I gotta figure out how OBS works on Red Hat, and I'll get back to y'all. But no, much love, much abundance. If you're in tech, give it your best, bro. Well, like honestly, if you're in life, give it your best. Like I love this stuff. I do. I love tech, but I've given it so much. I'm not sure if I would recommend it to everybody, because I'm not sure if they'll have the stamina. I remember when I was at CyberNet Labs, this organization that was training us to be a SOC analyst, right? Like Security Operations Center analyst. I think the class started with like 100 people. And by the time we graduated, I think it was like 25 or 30, right? I've seen a lot of people and a lot of cohorts come in and leave, because this is not an easy industry. Especially now, like the ATS stuff, the AI stuff is actually getting harder, right? Like I was speaking to, Markeisha made a post about this. Shout out Markeisha Snape. I kind of help her with the achievement stuff. Anyway, she was made a post about like, she was looking at new jobs and like the job descriptions are requiring so much. And she was like, do you think like there's a change? I'm like, yes. Like speaking to everyone who I know has been in tech for a while, they say like 5-10 years ago, bro, you could have like a couple certifications, just walk into an interview, 6 figures. They're just giving you it, right? Even earlier in the 2000s, they're saying if you had your ComTIA A+, this thing I already have, right? You could just basically like get any job you want, right? And now we're in 2026, bro. They're saying that the ComTIA CYSA, which is like a level above the Sec Plus, right? They're saying that's the new Sec Plus, right? So as time goes on, people are like expecting you to already have the A Plus, already have the Net Plus, to the point it's valuable, but it's like almost, it's still annoying because they still require more of you. That's the saddest part about the certifications. Like, you get them and it's like, it's cool. It does help a bit. I'm not gonna hold you. It does help a bit because I've been getting a bit more calls ever since I got my A Plus specifically. But they still require more of you. It's like it doesn't stop. You think like, oh, you're gonna get the certification, I'm in the job, I'm free. No, bro. You actually got more work to do now. It doesn't stop. But yeah, I'm rambling now, but I just wanted to share my thoughts. But no, much love, much light. Hopefully I can share more Cisco content or Red Hat content, because I gotta start making more content as well, because I think that's the thing that I'm probably slipping up at. You know, I'm getting the certifications, I got my GitHub, I got my website, I got my tech YouTube I'm building up, I do the podcast with the Blacks in Cyber, right? I'm going to the job fairs. The only thing left is just to make like my own content and courses, or like workshops, or like conferences, like, or be a speaker. Like those are the only last things, to be like a speaker, to make my own events, to make my own videos, to make my own business. Like, cause like everything else, like I've either done or I'm doing, you know. But yeah, I'm rambling. But no, much love, much light. I hope you are well, and yeah, peace.